Hi, I'm Anthony from Maestro Music Centers, and I'm going to talk a little bit about songs and rhythm styles, and specifically, this is a specific lesson for Roland instruments. I'm on a Roland AT-100 Atelier. This is the middle of the smaller range of Rolands. There's the AT-75. That's the entry-level model. This is the AT-100, which has a longer lower keyboard, so you get a split function, meaning I have like basically two right-hand keyboards. Plus, because the bottom keyboard is so long, it also has a piano pedal. I could play it as a piano. I've got sort of piano capabilities. And if you play organ and you know how to play pedals, it's got a really nice 20-note pedal board, so it's actually a pretty substantial instrument. I have in front of me a song from Gilbert O'Sullivan. You'll recognize it immediately when I play it. And right now I'm selecting a rhythm style that happens to be built into the instrument in the oldies contempo called gold medium beat. Now the Roland instruments, the rhythm styles have 4 variations. So you can play variation 1. Here, let's play the chords, you can hear it. It's basically a guitar version. I'm going to go to variation 2. You're going to hear a little fill and then it'll change. Okay, now the different guitar pattern happens. Picks up for the. Let's go to 3. Little fuller. The last one, 4, the fullest. Okay, let's go back to 1 with this dramatic difference going from 4 to 1. Hear how much went away? Alright. Well, the same way that there are 4 variations of a rhythm style, there are 4 introductions. And doesn't matter what variation of rhythm, let's say right now I have the variation set on 1 for the rhythm style. If I press introduction ending and play my first chord, happens to be an F major 7th, it's going to be short, sweet, and to the point. Here you go. That's it. Over. If I press introduction ending and go to 2, my number 2 button is now lit solid, but number 1 is flashing. It's telling me the introduction, which is lit, will be number 2, but when that's over, the pattern will go back to pattern number 1 of the rhythm. So here's now what happens. Piano. Nice. Little guitar. And we're in. Okay, let's do the same thing. Introduction, but now let's go to number 3. So far it sounds similar. That part's new. That electric guitar, that's a new part. We didn't have that in the last one. And finally, let's go introduction and number 4. Now this will be a different introduction than the other 2. It's orchestrated differently. Same mood, same rhythm. Organ, nice. But I can determine which of those 4 introductions would work better for my song. I'm going to actually, when I use it, go to introduction number 2. Now, these instruments have a built-in function called one-touch program, which is your preset sound combinations made at the factory level for that rhythm. When you press it, the 4 numbered buttons in between the 2 keyboards, these pistons 1 to 4, light up. And button number 1, preset number 1 for this rhythm style, it even changes the variation. Button number 1 of one touch sets this rhythm on number 4 variation, the fullest, and gives me on top a piano with a choir. If I use button 2, that sets me on variation number 1 of the rhythm and has a flugelhorn, which is really kind of nice, which is what Chuck Mangione played. Button number 3 puts me on variation number 2 of this rhythm style. And I have a nice saxophone. And button number 4, strings, and I'm on variation 4 again. So let's say if I want to use that, I'm going to go to button number 2. So my introduction is lit. My variation is on number 1. I don't want intro 1 and variation 1 because intro 1 is so short. So right now all I'm going to do is press button number 2. So I told the instrument, okay, you're going to play introduction number 2 and then when it's done, go to pattern number 1. Now I can pick any number to play. I can play any order, any number of these presets. I don't have to use any of them if I don't want to. But in this case, I'm going to start the song, and I'm going to start on this number 2. So I play my first chord. Now you know the introduction is playing. The introduction button remains lit. There are click sounds or people speaking that can help you. It's going to end soon. There it is. So there's my rhythm. I can manually change the sound. I can go to a new preset. Let's go to 3. Fuller. And that was saxophone. So I can use those presets. Now, I'm going to stop in a minute. On our larger models, like on an AT-900 or AT-800, you have multiple groups of these one-touch presets. On our older generation, the 90 SLs, you had 4 different groups of sound. So I actually, when you use those larger models, let's say you pick one of the groups. There's like hobbyist and advanced. So let's say I put it on the advanced presets. I can turn on, let's say, my button number 1 preset and memorize that into button number 5. I just hold right and touch 5. I could then turn on number 2, memorize that to 6, 3 to 7, and 4 to 8. Then I could switch on the other set of 4 presets, and now I've got 8 presets to use for rhythm style. Now sometimes on the instruments, there are rhythm styles that suit a rhythm better. Now this model did not have a rhythm, and actually the rhythm that suits this song is a little bit of an older model pattern. It existed on our 90 SL series, and I was able to load it in on the 900, and so I loaded it in both sets of presets and saved them, and then I saved it onto my USB stick, which is loaded in. So now I'm going to load in my registration, which I named alone again, loading it in. Now my 8 buttons are assigned for sounds and that rhythm style, which was called, what is it called? Acoustic pop. That will go better with the song. Now button 1, there's like an organ and a harpsichord. 2, there's like an organ with a pan flute. There's a brass on the bottom. Organ with a bell. Kind of a guitar sound there. You heard that doing. String 5. Brass 6. Guitar with the piano 7. Accordion with the singing. And on 8, that doing. So I could pick any, it doesn't matter where I go. Each of these obviously is doing something different, you know, with the rhythm styles, okay? As I'm pressing the buttons, I'm watching variations change, you know. Let's say I like that, okay? Now, this is on 4, and I wanted introduction 4, because this introduction will match this song better. It's going to be a little slower. I mean, the other one was fast. I should have slowed it down, but for a video, it's okay. 4 would have been longer. Endings and intros are going to work the same way. It was kind of neat, right? And I had 8 presets I could play with, and not everyone had a split sound on, but I could look and just see if the button that said 2 lower was on and know the split was there. If I had ending 4 playing, it would have sounded like this. Short also, but a little bit more drawn out. So, if you don't have a specific rhythm, probably in the store we can find you maybe something better, save you the preset on the stick, you load them into your instrument, and you can play the song on your instrument, even if it's not internally built in. It's the beauty of having registrations, and there's a user button on these instruments, so I could, load in additional rhythm styles permanently that I like into the user function. There's aftermarket rhythms. We have discs that we've had from our older instruments that had rhythms that we can help you get and load in. So chances are you can find something that you can use to play the song. If neither of those two options work for you, the other way to do it is on these models. If you press and hold both the One Touch program and the Harmony Intelligence buttons at the same time, then the Music Assistant comes up, which has song names, and you can scroll through to see if a song or a song like it is in your instrument. Now, this song is not in here, but I could have scrolled through and hunted away and said, well, gee, is there a song that I see in here that is similar to that? There's a lot of stuff in here. I mean, holiday songs and Latin songs and gospel songs and rock and roll songs, and so I could look and say, oh yeah, I'm not really paying attention. I'm just kind of scrolling, to be honest. But I could find a song similar to it in the Music Assistant to use it. On the larger model with a touchscreen, I can actually break down the parameters and say, hey, give me a melody from the 70s, and maybe find something from the 70s that would go with this. It's a ballad. It's a, that was a pop rhythm that I was using. But there's lots of options as far as rhythms and what you can use. So that's really, really a great feature. You also can use the USB stick. You can save presets. You can save presets on even a larger model or a different model, a friend's model, and just load in registrations so that if you want to play something else, I don't know if I have anything else available quickly that I can play, but you want to play something else and you have a sound that you want to use. I can use this. Here's an oboe with like a string sound. I don't want the rhythm, sorry. Go to the next button. Something really, really fabulous and come back and play it, and whether or not you can actually make the same exact preset on your model, it doesn't matter. I can carry these USB sticks from one model to another, and it will pick up as much of it as it can, even if it's maybe a sound it doesn't actually have that singer built in, but on a preset I can use it in a preset, and it will play it back in my preset if I did it somewhere else. So you can sound as good at home as you do maybe playing on the store on our top of the line model if you have something smaller. And the neat part is that we do our programs, and we have all the songs for our program that you can get on a USB stick to play along with, and we can do specific classes and give you maybe other rhythm styles or other sounds that you can use with those songs and presets to have fun and enjoy them. So they're really, really super flexible instruments. They are arranger keyboards, but built into a cabinet. So people have heard of like Tyros by Yamaha. That's the same idea. That's exactly what this is doing. It just looks different. Okay, but the same concept. It's just a keyboard, a little bit more expensive, but that's because the quality of the sound is very, very high digital sampling. And if you were to buy one of those keyboards I just mentioned, you would pay about the same for this. So, it's not that far off. And this comes with a bench. And it's on a beautiful built-in stand. And so it's really, really nice, and has flexibility of adding pedals. If you had to add pedals alone, another $1,000. So great little beginner instruments. These small Rolands. They look tiny, but they sound really big. You can actually even hook them up to an external speaker system to really make them wow in your living room or den or wherever you decide to put one. And there is a headphone jack. So if you want to play in complete silence, as some of you do, you can. All right. I hope this helps you a little bit. Thanks.